Hello everyone and welcome to a mixtape review, and in this video I'm going to review DEMIDEVIL by Ashnikko. This is the highly anticipated debut mixtape from pop rap artist Ashnikko, which after multiple delays in 2020 it's finally here. Now my introduction to Ashnikko was with her 2019 EP Hi It's Me, which in my opinion ended up becoming one of my favorite pop works I've heard in the past decade. It didn't really have something that unique or that special compared to other releases that would go into some more bubblegum bass and pop rap aesthetics. However, I felt that everything that this EP had to offer was spectacular. From the deliveries, from the production, the whole sound, the melodies, everything was just so catchy and super addictive, and it made it a really great EP in my opinion. And it took a few months for Ashnikko to be more talked about, but when Stupid became such a sensation on TikTok, she started blowing up. So after such a spectacular EP that puts you on the table, the question would obviously be, so what next? What direction is Ashnikko going to take? How is she going to move forward as a musician after such a spectacular release? Is she gonna come close, or is she going to even surpass what she did with Hi It's Me? The answer is that it's pretty hard to do it. And to be honest, I feel that DEMIDEVIL does not have the criteria in order to become that much of a greater experience. However, the result could have definitely been so much worse, because after gaining such popularity out of nowhere, you worry that the next stuff might become painfully basic or way too commercial, which I feel that unfortunately in some occasions we have some really standard directions, but I feel that Ashnikko as an artist has come even more forward in 2020 with some of the singles that she put out. Even if I'm not such a huge fan for some of the tracks that she released in 2020, I feel that Ashnikko has taken some directions with some of her newer cuts where she feels much more confident as an artist. Some of the tracks she has done feel more personal and becoming more and more comfortable with her vocal abilities, and also managing to create her own sound and being more distinct compared to what she released with some of her previous works, which felt like she was taking multiple approaches from other pop artists. In some of her more recent works she feels more like herself, and that's something that I personally feel that it's the case with tracks like Desi, for example. Now this track blew up. It has managed to become possibly her most popular song, and I can see why. It has a really nice beat to it. I like the production on this thing, and I feel that the melodic passages are kinda nice. The track is a bit short though, I would prefer more out of it, and I don't really enjoy all of her vocal deliveries. However, like I said, I feel that she comes out more confident, especially with like in this song. And then you have the track Cry featuring Grimes. Now this one I didn't really like as much. I think it's an okay song. It has some really interesting moments to it. It also has some electric guitar tunes to it. It goes into a more of like rock direction, but the beat is somewhat basic. Now the feature from Grimes was somewhat standard. When it comes to Ashnikko, I feel that some of the vocal deliveries that she had in the chorus were not like that much my style. I didn't enjoy every single vocal moment in this song, but the main thing is that I find that this track was extremely short. I certainly wanted more out of it. It doesn't feel as fulfilling as I would want it to. It had potential for something even better. Then we had tracks like Tantrum that she released in 2020, which is a track that I would like to see being put on the mixtape. Certainly not one of my favorite moments, but it was a pretty decent track. But the one I would hope that it would be on this mixtape and it's not, was the Halloween 3 track. It was one of my favorite tracks of 2020, and I know that it's like a Halloween themed song, but I would love to see this track land on this mixtape, because it's not like this mixtape is that much consistent, it's all over the place, so it wouldn't hurt to have more songs. And DEMIDEVIL is actually really short, it's only 25 minutes and it feels short. I certainly wanted more out of this album, it had the potential to put much more material. There's another track that was teased a few days before the release of this album, and that was Deal With It, featuring Kelis. Now for me this is possibly my favorite track out of this mixtape. I really love Deal With It. When I first heard it I thought it was nice, and I was pretty sure that this track would grow more and more on me as I listened to it. The beat and the melodies might be somewhat standard, but I really love some of the vocal deliveries, especially when it comes to the chorus. I like the slightly distorted part with the line "I hate you so much right now," and the post-chorus part is awesome. This is definitely a really strong point from Ashnikko. Now out of the rest of the track listing, one of the tracks that I ended up enjoying the most was the track Toxic. Now the main issue I actually have with Toxic is that it sounds so much like Daisy. It's like she attempted to put a hit twice. Now I don't find that this is as good as Daisy, but the track is certainly a grower. I do find that some of the parts that it has, they sound pretty good and I like the way it's structured. However, the track has many identical parts with like the beat, the melodies, even the deliveries, they sound pretty identical with Daisy. But other than that, this is certainly one of the most enjoyable moments in this album because it's really dynamic, which is something that unfortunately misses as we get further into this project. I feel that some of the tracks do not have that much of a punch to them, which makes occasions with tracks like Little Boy to sound really bland. This track could have been so much better if it had something like more intense and more powerful to it. I would say kind of the same with the track Later Boy, which is a cover and somewhat of an alternate version out of the track Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne, and I feel that it's a decent cover, but I wanted a bit of a more punch to it. This is the main thing that I feel that somewhat misses out of the song. Another occasion would be the track Good While It Lasted. Now I get that this is more of like a sentimental track in some of the occasions with like the lyricism, but it has some nice melodies to it. It is one of the better moments, but I still feel that the instrumental in some occasions was kinda lackluster and the beat was a bit basic. Then we have the other side of Ashnikko, where she would go into those more ridiculous and outlandish deliveries, like with the track Slumber Party. Now I didn't really like the beat out of this one. I thought it was a bit of an annoying track and a bit too ridiculous even for me. And it also features Princess Nokia, and her verse was so short and so uninspiring, like it felt that it almost had no purpose whatsoever. Drunk with My Friends could have been promising, but I don't like the mixing of the vocals, and I also don't like the use of the effects in the vocals. The overall track has some nice elements to it when it comes to the production, but it's another one of the tracks that feels really short, and I certainly wanted more out of it. It feels more of like an attempt at something rather than a fulfilling song. And finally we have Clitoris the Musical, which just by the title and the musical tag I knew that we were going to get something outlandish and something ridiculous, which is exactly what we get. However, I ended up enjoying some of the lyrical structures in this song. It was certainly interesting. So like I said, even if the result of this new project of Ashnikko isn't as compelling as I would want to, the results could have been much worse if she ended up going to a much more commercial and basic sound. But instead I feel that with some of those tracks we get a quite personal project, and one where we see Ashnikko being more confident as an artist and finding her own sound. This mixtape though is shorter than needed, and it has issues like some pretty standard beats and melodies and some other moments that instrumentally might feel somewhat lackluster. I'm going to give DEMIDEVIL a 6+ out of 10. What's your opinion on this mixtape? Like it, dislike it, why, and what do you want me to review next time? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.